On June 9th, a company shipped the most capable model it had ever released. 72 hours later, the United States government ordered it switched off. Routine deprecation allows a developer to sunset an old version over months. This was a forced, immediate recall applied to every user on Earth, including American citizens. The mechanism was an export control directive from the Department of Commerce. It restricted access for any foreign national anywhere, leaving the lab with only one way to comply: severing all connections instantly. Reaching a model through an API means renting a foundation you do not possess. Someone else holds the off switch, and we just watched a single government letter throw that switch for the entire planet. Teams hard-coding a specific model string woke up to broken pipelines, but teams using a model-agnostic routing layer simply diverted traffic to a fallback. Meanwhile, a model with local weights sits completely outside API revocation. Treating a specific model as the most replaceable component in your stack is no longer a thought experiment. It's a roadmap item. This week moved self-hosting from a hobbyist preference to a survival requirement. For 2 years, this lab marketed its frontier models as intensely powerful, national security-level capabilities. If you describe your software product as a munition in every public release, eventually a government takes you at your word and treats it like one. Here is how marketing copy becomes legal authority. By framing the model's safety in terms of national security, the company handed the Department of Commerce the exact predicate it needed to trigger export control power. Other industry leaders had warned this was a trap, that selling the world a bomb and then a bomb shelter would eventually invite regulators to seize the keys to both. Marketing pitch decks and threat assessments turned out to be the same document. In this sector, your brand's safety narrative is the exact evidence used to justify a shutdown. Curious, deliberate tone. There are 2 ways to read this. One says this was a genuine application of national security caution to protect military supply chains. The other says it was political payback against a company already at war with the administration. Both fit the facts, which is why press releases don't matter as much as the data. To find the truth, watch for enforcement asymmetry. The lab noted this capability already exists in rival models still online. If those comparable models stay active, retaliation gains weight. If everyone faces identical bans, the security motive is validated. Ignore the statements and track who gets hit next. That metric alone dictates the future stability of the vendors you've wired into your products. Because a model on your own desk cannot be revoked by a letter, open-weight architectures moved from a niche preference to a form of enterprise insurance. Overnight, irrevocable became a critical feature. Within hours, Chinese labs were marketing their localized models against the vulnerability of American APIs, framing centralized control as a liability for global business. Governments that saw their own citizens swept into a foreign ban responded with capital. In the UK, this translated to a £1 billion sovereign AI push to decouple their infrastructure from foreign-controlled switches. The irony is that an intervention meant to protect Western interests provided an immediate, uncontractable advantage to foreign open-weight ecosystems. Whether you view the takedown as a self-inflicted wound or a necessary precaution, the vulnerability for developers is the same. Put a routing layer in front of your primary provider today. Keep a fallback model warm and have a clear, operational path to self-hosting before the next letter is sent. The systems we ship sit on borrowed land. This week proved the only resilient way to build is to assume the foundational ground will move, and to be ready to stay standing when it does.